right now. Nope, that's it. All right. What's next up in our topics for tonight?
Yeah, just to add that one of the things uh, that we're not doing very well uh, was the defense was horrendous on third downs last Sunday, and this Lions offense is 11th in third down conversion. Carolina defense in 26th. Wilkes says Detroit quarterback Jared Goff controls everything. And this kind of goes back to the point that we were making. You live and die by your quarterback. And right now, Jared Goff is playing some of the best football that he's ever played. This is not the stat teams uh, of the Los Angeles Rams that he used to have in years past. I feel like he's done a lot make up for his name being slandered the past few years. And he's going to be a very dangerous quarterback for the Panthers to face going forward. So this is going to take our best defensive performances from top to bottom. And Tony, you added this, since we're talking about quarterbacks. If you look at the lay of the land right now, the current quarterbacks in the NFC are Jalen Hurts, who was a second round pick. Kirk Cousins was a fourth round pick. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft. Tom Brady was a sixth round pick. Dak Prescott was a fourth round pick. Daniel Jones, the only kind of outlier here, the number six overall pick. And Taylor Heineke was an undrafted player. So it kind of lends to this argument that you don't necessarily have to have a highly drafted quarterback in order to be a successful football team. However, to play devil's advocate to the slide that you posted, if you look at the AFC right now, you have Josh Allen, a top 10 pick, Mahomes, a top 10 pick, Burrow, a top 10 pick, Tannehill was a first round pick, Justin Herbert, a top 10 pick, and Tua Tagovailoa, a top 10 pick. Oh, and by the way, say the Jaguars win the division, then that quarterback was also the number one overall pick. So that you can find the argument that you're looking to make about your quarterback depending on what division you look in. Do you need a first rounder, or can you go with the talent that you found and cultivated later on in the draft?
Why is Daniel Jones on this list?
Because he's a playoff team right now.
Yeah, this is all the playoffs. All
Oh,
the playoff
currently the
Can,
quarterbacks.
playoffs. Okay, because I was thinking it was like, all right. Gosh, I wonder
can
how far are the Lions behind? Because golf was a
not
top
they're
pick.
they're in the
They're
same position we are, I
seven,
think, as far as
seven.
being out. Yeah. Can
They're
I
a
say
wild
though
card.
that when you make that comparison, the one thing I noticed right off the top, just looking at it, you look at all these NFC teams that have these quarterbacks that are not first round picks. You look at all the AFC teams that have the quarterbacks that are. Look at the AFC teams. They're offensive led teams, high powered
Yeah,
offenses. And I'm not saying there's not high powered offenses in the NFC, but look at all these NFC teams.
There
The
aren't.
E- the the,
I mean,
the Eagles,
Cousins and
well, look,
Lions
the
and
Eagles, the
Eagles.
Niners, the Bucks. Who else was on there? Washington. Those are all defensive teams. Like they're teams led by their defense that helps them win the games they're at. Look, I'm going to make an argument later for Jalen Hurts. Y'all can talk all you want to about Jalen Hurts being the offensive guy and the MVP. He is not the MVP of the league this year. His defense. He's a system quarterback. He's a system quarterback. That's all there is to it. I'll say it right now. So, but look at all these teams. These are all defensive teams in the NFC. They're
Yeah,
all
I
offensive teams
mean,
in the NFC. So,
I'm not like I don't. They might be in the playoffs, but I don't love any of these names except for Jalen Hurts and maybe Dak. Like Dak's all right. I mean, Tom Brady. Okay, like he's always going to be the outlier that screws up every list when
right.
it comes to anything.
Yeah.
It's like actually how Kurt Warner does. Kurt Warner is the walk-on Hall of like well, he was drafted, but he wasn't. No, it wasn't. He was undrafted. He's an undrafted player, right?
He was
Yeah,
bagging
that's like this
groceries.
whole
But
story. I
yeah.
watched this movie, and he's like a 5-time Super Bowl winner or whatever, Hall of Famer, they're always going to skew the list. You know what I'm saying? So overall, this is like, I wouldn't be happy with my team if any of these are the names of them, except for maybe Hurts, Prescott, and Cousins,
dude.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'd be
yeah.
fine with Cousins, like, but you know who you got. Like, this is the best Cousins you're gonna get, which is fine. But you better have a team now that's gonna win with him.
Yeah.
Did you see Justin Fields, by the way? Speaking of Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields talking about how he's like begging for calls. Oh, this is kind of an interesting thing. We'll talk about this moment later in the NFL news, but Jalen Hurts suffering with a shoulder injury right now, or battling a shoulder injury. Fields talking about the reluctancy to get these calls, like he has to beg. He said, "I'm gonna have to start begging for them." Talking about how Aaron Donald, I didn't see this play they was talking about, but it sounded like it was clearly something he believed should have been flagged and protected from. It's like the Cam Newton tree of life or death that hey, maybe the ref said you're not old enough to get that call to Justin Fields. Jalen Hurts was injured in this game against Chicago, almost like they had to show that we have a great mobile quarterback too. Oh, you got a great mobile quarterback, Chicago, or a very mobile quarterback? So do we. They're like winning that game, and Jalen Hurts gets more carries than Miles Sanders. Is like, gosh, you also have to.
One of the dumbest things was the amount of times that they ran Jalen Hurts on design runs. You have an MVP. You have an MVP candidate, and you're gonna do design runs with your franchise quarterback. That is the dumbest shit in the world. Philadelphia is asking for trouble. Now all the rumors are that he probably won't start versus the Philadelphia. So Tony might have a chance. Against the Cowboys. So Tony might have a chance to witness some Minshew magic a little bit this week, So Tony will love that. But I don't know. That was very dumb to me. Very dumb. I don't know why they would do that. I just felt that entire thing was stupid. But about Justin Fields, history has a weird way of repeating itself, huh?
Well, I mean, Justin Fields and Hurts right there are the same kind of type of player, I think, that you would describe as the tree of Cam Newton. Greg, you mentioned you don't think that Jalen Hurts is MVP.
No.
And boy, bold words, man. Why not?
And let me go back and say, he's having a fantastic season, and he's a great quarterback. I'm not trying to take any of that away from him, okay? But as far as the stats go, he is only, and as far as quarterback stats go, that's the top 8 quarterback stats: yards, completions, average yards per game, touchdowns, sacks, quarterback rating, or QBR and overall rating. He only is in the top 3 in one category. In the top 3 in one category, and we're saying he's the best in the NFL. Okay. As far as rushing goes, he is the top leading rusher as far as quarterbacks go in the NFL, but he has 3 times the amount of rushes as most quarterbacks do. And he's 14th, I think, in average. So it's not like he's a great rusher. Volume speaks for him in that. He has a ton of rushes.
Right.
So, of course, he's going to rush for a lot of yards. He is not the MVP this year. Patrick Mahomes in the same stats, in the same 8 quarterback stats, is number 1 in 4 of those. He's top 5 in every one of them except for completion percentage, which he is 0.01 away from being the number 5 in completion percentage. Patrick Mahomes is the MVP. Jalen Hurts is not. We are going by record here, which is what I can't stand about this vote, because it's only by record. Jalen Hurts is not playing a better year than Patrick Mahomes is. I'm sorry. He's just not. Patrick Mahomes has total of 4,809 yards so far this season, 38 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts has 4,219 yards, 35 touchdowns. That's including rushing and passing. So not only does Mahomes have more yards and touchdowns, he's better in almost every single stat there is as far as quarterback goes, except for amount of yards rushing and touchdowns rushing, because there's less volume. Like, Hurts is not the MVP. And I wanted to say earlier, I said he's a system quarterback. Every quarterback is a system quarterback You build the system around that quarterback. So I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to talk trash about Hurts, but he's not the number one guy this year. Like anybody who's believing that, you're just believing the media hype. You're not looking at the actual numbers.
Right now, for me, it's between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen for MVP, and I probably would have Patrick Mahomes at the
Tua
top of
should
that.
be
That's
in
so
that
hard.
conversation. Tua should
No,
be in
Tua
that
fell
off.
conversation.
I think the
Yeah.
same thing that Greg said
Allen's
about.
blown some games. Allen's blown some games from them.
Yeah,
so
but
if you
so
want to
is
call
Tua.
out Tua, not
So is
yeah.
Tua.
So and you know what is that really? But you're not. I guess maybe
But
this
Allen won that
3-game
division.
losing streak is really hurting his campaign.
It
for
really is. And by the way, they lost to the Chargers, and a lot of the reason
He had a
why
bad
they
game. That was his
lost-
bad game of the year.
Yeah, he had some bad. And by the way, this is the time of the season where you need to be playing your best football in
Allen
order
has-
to be considered an MVP candidate.
Allen's had some questionable moments, dude. He has
Yeah,
not
but he's
been
playing
dialed
better
in like
now.
Mahomes. No, even as
Yeah,
of
I mean-
late, he hasn't
Mahomes
been
is it, man.
fantastic.
I'm telling
I
you,
would-
man.
I think
I would
Mahomes
have
is
Mahomes-
ahead of Allen. Easy.
Allen. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Mahomes is
I
it.
would have Mahomes ahead of Allen. But dude, did y'all see what Josh Allen did? I think it was this last Saturday. Dude, Josh Allen is so freaking good, man. Like, dude, you can make the argument that dude is the best player in football. Like, he's that fucking good, dude. It's
You can make the argument, yeah,
gross.
but
It's gross. But
he's doing it.
I believe that's all for that we have. Did you?
Sub them up and cover me while you guys take care of this next bit and introduce the next segment.
Oh shit! You know what that means. We have reached the time of the show where all of these dirty little devils in the chat come to get what they've been good little boys and girls for. That's right. They want to take a break from us talking about the Panthers, and they're trying to get their shame on. Damn it, Codizzle. Talk to this bunch of weirdos, dude.
Well, hello there. Welcome into the C3 Panthers Podcast. If you're new here, if you're a Lions fan, I just want to be the first to say, welcome to the show. Enjoy the content, enjoy the squirming as we go head to head with one of the hottest teams in the NFL, the Detroit Lions. We're discussing a lot of different things about this team, the future, the past, and the present. You've come in here to enjoy this conversation, but you haven't hit that thumbs up button yet. Well, I have one thing to say to all you absolute freaks. Subscriber shame.
$115 strong viewers,
Second, yeah.
43 likes. Hit that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Every single C3 Panthers podcast goes live. Help us be seen by as many football fans as possible. Help us grow Panther Nation. And yeah, man, help us whip up on that YouTube algorithm and do like what the Panthers should be doing out there on the football field. Gentlemen, Tony said he'll be right back, but I'm going to go ahead and set up